Let's talk a little bit about the daily drivers through the season. These are the Final Approach HD Mallards. Last year they were called the Live Mallards. This year they are the HD Mallards because the Live Mallards are something different. So I'm going to talk to you guys about these. The HD Mallards are the same as the Live Mallards last year. Nothing has changed with them. Still great quality. Painted heads, harder plastic body. It's like a good mix. It's got some suppleness to it so you don't get cracks, and if you bang it, you're really going to be fine with that. So yeah, these are the Final Approach HD Mallards. I linked up with Final Approach last year as a partner, so now I'm using Final Approach decoys in my spread. So I want to give you guys an honest review of these things and give you guys my personal opinion on them and how I thought they worked out last year throughout the season. So this decoy comes in a 12 pack, so I've only got two of them here. This one is the drinker and then this one is the hen collar. But there's 8 different head positions in the pack. So you got the drinker, the collar, you got a hen surface feeder, you got a drake feeder, a drake rester, a hen rester, and a couple of actives. So there's a bunch of head positions, and if you guys want to look more into this, I will leave a link down in the description to these bad boys. But yeah, for these being daily drivers, I used these on every single duck hunt that I went on last year for what I can remember. There might have been days where I only took the last passes. But the paint held up great. The decoys themselves, they're a little bit larger. So they're 10% larger than life size. And they just have a really good profile on the water. They ride great. And I like that the 12 pack comes with a bunch of different head positions. So then most of the decoys look like different ducks. There's not like a bunch of uprights and a bunch of resters in the spread. So there's a bunch of different head positions giving your spread some life. The paint held up great. I don't see any kind of chips or nicking or anything of that nature. You know, there's bound to be some rubbing and stuff rubbing off of these decoys when they're being used. It's just the nature of decoys. So the hen, she looks great as well. I'll give you guys a close-up on the drake here in a minute. But there's the hen collar. After a season of hunting, I did rinse them off with a hose real quick, get some mud off of them, but they cleaned up pretty darn good. I love this head position. It's a good one. Here's the drake. Here's a close-up on that paint job there. Looks pretty darn good. There's a little bit of wear on the chest. There's a bunch of mud in the cracks. I didn't really go super in-depth with that, but with cleaning that. There you go. That's the drinker head position. Head up, drinking. They're good looking decoys. So some of the things that were kind of things I didn't like about these decoys, it's very few and far between. One is if you're walking in, these decoys can be a little heavy since they are a full-size decoy, actually 10% larger. So they got a little bit of weight to them, which, you know, it's bound to happen. Most decoys do have some weight to them. A good size keel on them. You throw them, they're self-righting. You don't have to go out there and flip them over and worry about decoys falling over when you're throwing them out there. So every time I threw one of these, I knew it was going to land upright and be ready to go. There's 3 positions on the keel to where you can put your decoy rig. The one in the middle, I haven't tried this yet. I need to try this year, but I guess the one in the middle allows the decoy to kind of do its own thing while it's out there on the water. And I guess it looks really good in wind and current. So I'll have to give that a try. Normally when I rig my decoys, I do like half in the front and half in the back. So some face this way and some face that way. So I might try and do some in the middle and see what that does. But yeah, the paint held up great on these bad boys. Like, I'm not easy on my gear. I use my gear to use it and hunt with it and get the job done. So I'm not babying things really. So for these decoys not being babied, they look fantastic. Like, I can't even find a blemish on this hen other than a couple of spots where it looks like I might have hit it with a BB, but I don't think I did. So that is the HD Mallards. If you guys have any questions about these, leave it down in the comments. But overall, I'm very happy with these. They're ready to go for another season and be used and abused and beat up and put in the marsh, lake, river, whatever backwater slough I get myself into. I'm pretty excited about season starting up. So the paint held up great. They look great. Bunch of different head positions in the pack. And the only downside is they can be kind of heavy if you got a whole bunch of them, but that's just bound to happen with any decoy unless you're using some smaller decoys. So Yeah, this year the live mallards are going to be an EVA with flocked heads. The HD mallards are the HDPE plastic, which is a good blend where it's a little supple and not super duper hard where you're going to crack it by banging decoys together. And they're going to have painted heads. So if you guys want to learn more about these, there is a link in the description. Head over to Rogers, check them out, maybe order some. You won't regret it. These decoys are bad to the bone, and you know, the new FA is really stepping the game up on the decoy game. So that's about it for today. Make sure to leave me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and I will catch you on the next one.